Hello and welcome to CalmLands. My name's Josh. This is Gaming Joy Channel, and we are trying to get this harvest done. As you can see, we got a lot of stuff like getting closer to ready. Look, this canola is almost ready. It looks like the the flax field is all set to go, so we're gonna harvest that one today. And then if we look at our map, we have two root crop fields that are ready to go, which is great because root crops take so much time and so much fun to harvest. I'm just kidding. We'll get them done. And then everything else is getting really close. This one's close. This one's close. This one's getting closer. Look at, where's our poplar? I'm gonna go look at the poplar. Come on, poplar, hurry up and grow. You think, you look at poplar and you're like, yeah, it's gonna be a great crop. It's gonna grow so much. It's so thick, generates so much stuff, but takes forever and a day to grow. And now I'm completely lost in the poplar field. I don't even know where I am. There we go. Don't go into the poplar field, you'll get lost. Anyways, let's get this started. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little bit of courseplay, and this is kind of the best way to do courseplay with the swather that I've found. See this setting? See how it's in the middle of the swather? You got to do the middle. I've tried doing the sides, like a left and right kind of thing. I've tried using two swathers to do the left and right. But then you can't automate the second part, which is, or it's really hard to automate the second part, which is the swath pickup. So even though this is a big field, even though it's going to take a while, I'm just going to go ahead and do one swath. Let's go ahead and create a course. And there we go. We got our course. I'm going to get the swather going now. The second piece, the harvester, can't really go until the swather's done. So we're just going to go in here and swath and hire the worker. Now this is a cool crop. We haven't done this crop before. So this is flax. This is off of Edgewater. And I added it to this map just for a little bit of variety. But basically what you're going to come through here is and take this windrow, which is both the seeds, you can see the seeds in the windrow, and the straw, and you're going to run it through with this thing, which is the swath, the pickup header. And then the pickup header is going to pick up the straw, process out the grains, keep the grains in the grain tank, and then dump out straw out of the back. Now this crop is actually a custom straw called flax straw, which needs to be sold differently. You can't use it in the rest of our crops, which is fine. It'll just be something fun to do, and it's a little bit of a different thing. So since this guy and this guy are just not going to be used right now, we're going to go ahead and jump over to our the smaller of our two, what are they called, root crop fields. Here we go. We're over at the root crop harvester, and this thing is interesting. At a 200 horsepower limit, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's the best we can do. And the reason I wanted to courseplay the swathing is this is a very manual process. Now the reason it's a manual process is that I don't know what it is. I haven't been able to figure it out yet, and it's honestly a little bit, it's more than I care about. But this thing, let's put our HUD up back up. This thing is a little bit, it doesn't work with courseplay, basically. And as you can see, oh my gosh, I'm almost full already. Oh my god, it's gonna take forever. As you can see, I have to run all of this. So we can eventually get a worker to do with a regular worker, like a regular base game worker will work with this machine for whatever reason. Now I did what, a quarter of a headland. Gosh, let's go get our tractor. We should just put this guy on follow me, honestly. But he'll fill up so fast that it won't even be worth it. At least maybe have him follow us around the field. Let's try that. So we're gonna put him on follow me and get us to follow us around the field, just so we don't have to like Wait for him. Over here. And we're emptying out our parsnips. And I wish the empty was a little bit faster. It's going pretty slow. That's okay. We'll figure it out. It'll get done eventually. Got to work with what we got, right? And as you can see, we're doing this like triple trailer setup, which also doesn't work with courseplay. Just so we don't have, when we go back and forth, we don't have to go back and forth too much. Come over here. Go like this. Control F. Follow. And then, so at least he'll just be right behind us while we're harvesting. Whoops. Turn on the harvester, Josh. There we go. And we'll continue on harvesting our parsnip field, which is a gigantic parsnip field. And it's funny, it's not even gigantic. It's just gigantic in terms of parsnips. I mean, that's a lot of parsnips. And then we have to do our carrot field in like a couple months. And then we also have to do a red beet field? Is that what it's called? As part of today's harvest, and that field is even bigger. So we're going to be harvesting fruit crops for a while. A while. And the other thing we get to do today actually is we're going to do some, as soon as I can get a worker on this, obviously isn't going to take very long. It's going to take a while. If I have to do like 4 headlands just to be able to get a worker on this, it's going to take a while. Like this right here. Empty out. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna have to get a worker on this, and the reason is we have one more field that's ready to go, which is a fun field actually. Let's tab over. Tab. These guys are still waiting for Flax. This guy's working. He's working. He's working. Here. This field is also ready. So this is our tall prairie grass. Look at it. It's head height. I can't even see where I'm going. It's almost just as bad as the poplar. But what we have going on down here is we have a swather ready to go. And this swather should be able to actually do most of the course on his own. But the first lap, we can actually get him started. Let's go this. So we're going to go here. We're going to go. I'm not going to do the way I normally do it. I'm going to do it in the middle so I can just run the course and not have to do anything manually. And let's get him going. Create job on our weirdly shaped field. Open course. 2 headlands is fine. We're going to go a little bit overlap. We're going to do a full meter overlap. But then, because that's going to catch some of the grass in the swather, we're going to have to ted it. So I have that other tractor sitting there ready to go. Whoops. So we'll get this swather going. And as you can see, he's outputting hay, but every once in a while, when he catches too much of the border, he'll output like a teeny bit of grass, probably right here. It all depends on how much he catches outside the border, right? But I mean, look at how much hay is coming out of that. And this is my custom crop. I made this crop myself. This is available on my GitHub in case anyone wants to add this into their maps. In this version of the game or the later. But the best part about this crop is as you harvest it, it goes directly into hay. So this huge swath of hay is what you're going to get as long as it's installed properly on your map, which I think is pretty awesome because you don't have to ted it again. It's a grass-based crop, but it turns into hay, and this is the only one of this crop anywhere in the game. It's available on the Deadwood map, but it's also available. That's a weird little corner. It's also available if you want to add it to your map, so feel free. We'll let this guy go, and then we'll check the swath at the end and see how much of it we need to re-swath or re-ted, and then we'll go back. So I'm going to jump over to the root crop harvester and keep that going. So as you can see, we've gotten around our first headland pass. Yay! And this is like just a little bit into the second headland, and we're already full again, which is, you know, fine. I noticed actually that the texture on the parsnips looks pretty good from a giant's perspective, nice in 3D. But if I look at the same texture in the root crop harvester, it doesn't look as good. I don't know why. Maybe it's scaled slightly off, but you can see them going up the belt, which is pretty cool. I guess, you know, I mean, this little harvester looks pretty good. It just doesn't function super great. I don't know. But anyways, I'm driving the D754, and we're going to go deliver these as soon as I'm full, which is going to be any second now. And I'll show you where I'm delivering them. It's not great for this field. Let's put it that way. It's great for the other field, the red beet field, but not for this one. And so we have 45,000 liters across these 3 trailers. And our 200 horsepower vehicle is going to try to drive these across the map. And of course, I'm driving it myself. Could get auto drive to do it. It wouldn't be too hard, I don't think. And we'll head over to the soup factory. Oh, I don't know if you guys remember from like 4, 5 episodes ago when we harvested our carrots, we had a problem with the soup factory where the soup factory just didn't. We weren't actually able to dump into the soup factory directly, so I ended up putting a silo right next to it. We dumped into the silo. We fixed that. It turned out that when I placed the soup factory, because I used free placement mode, that the trigger was basically placed below ground, so you couldn't actually get to the trigger to dump. And that was my own fault. With the lavender, it's beautiful. It was my own fault just because of how I placed it. I'm just going to cut across the lavender field because we don't have crop destruction on, and I'm trying to make this fast. So one thing to worry about and just be careful about is that when you do stuff in free placement mode, if there's triggers and those triggers end up underground, they won't work. So be a little bit careful about that. It took me 20-30 minutes to figure that one out, and then I had to replace the building and smooth things out and all that kind of stuff to get it to work right. But now it's there. Now see that trigger? It's supposed to be there. You're supposed to be able to see that dump grate, which is, you know, obviously a rarity for giants to include a dump grate. For some reason, a lot of their productions don't include dump grates. I've never understood that. It always feels weird dumping into the dirt. You know what I mean? Let's come a little bit further forward. That, and you get both trailers dumping at once, which is always fun to see. There we go. Look at our sheep cheese. Looks like we got some. While these are dumping, our sheep cheese is coming along good. Nice. Sheep cheese looks good. We got lots of pallets of sheep cheese. These are 1,000 liters each, 560 kilograms. So I can't pick them up. So that's a good amount of sheep cheese. I think sheep cheese sells pretty good. What happened? Oh, did it go out of the dump grate? That happens when I try to move things. The first trailer stopped dumping. But that's going to be our life for the next, 6 or 7 hours. We're going to harvest that parsnip field and 45,000 liters. We're going to drive across the map down to our soup factory. Let's get this like on a cruise control direction and look at our production. So let's go to our production. Okay. So our soup factory has been sitting there. Let's turn that one off. We don't need that anymore. Turn off these ones that aren't being used. Sheep cheese is still going good. We got plenty of materials. So the soup factory is here, and I really want to make this triple soup. which you need 100 of each. And we have 135,000 liters of carrots. And with one load, we put in 45,000. So this is probably going to take about 10 loads, I'm guessing, of parsnips. But we're going to generate probably 40 or 50 loads of parsnips. Considering that size of that field, not maybe that, maybe more like 20, 25 loads of parsnips. So we're going to generate about twice as much as the field factory can hold, which means we're going to have to use the silo. And then, of course, we're going to get to the end of this playthrough, and the soup's not going to be done processing, but we're just going to move on because it's a base game building, and base game buildings usually process pretty slow. Let's jump up here. I love seeing like one of my favorite things about auto drive is being able to set like routes for drivers to just pick up and deliver, right? And so you see the activity of those vehicles driving back and forth across the map doing their job. And it's actually one of my favorite things. It's kind of a feature of Courseplay. Set him to follow again. Follow. And let's get back to parsnip harvesting. So I will jump back in once I get this guy on a path of automation where I can just drive the carting trailer and just try to keep him moving when I can get a worker on it. But I got to do a couple headlands first to give him enough room to turn around, or else that worker is just going to completely fail. We're probably going to do... I looked at this field a couple times. We could do vertical, like 0 up and down. I think that's probably going to be the best. We could also do horizontal too, but I think the vertical is going to be the best. And we'll come back when we're there. As you can see, we're getting a good harvest though. If you look at the little mini map down there, we're getting bright green, somewhat medium green, and then an orange. And those are all, I think orange is 100%. So the bright green is 125% as far as how much product we're getting. So we're getting a great... You didn't follow. Shark. This guy didn't follow. What the hell? That's the whole idea of follow me, is you're supposed to follow me. Whatever. Anyways, I'm going to keep going with this harvest. I will come back in when we have something to report and hopefully get onto a worker so I don't have to do all of it myself. But, you know, it is what it is. It's fun times. And we'll be back. I think leaving that time today on 1 is going to be needed for sure with all of our root crop harvesting. We're going to be here for a long time. Here we go, back on the field with the parsnips, and we got our headlands done. A couple trips over to dump it off at the soup factory, and we just hired a worker. Yes, and so now we can let the worker harvest this field and we can help them. And in the meantime, it looks like somebody's finished their work. Who finished their work? Let's go look. I bet it's up. Yeah, it's the swather. Enter vehicle. Swather finished his work. Looks like he did a pretty dang good job, except for this extra piece of the field, which he didn't do. Which is fine, because it wasn't part of his actual contract. We didn't tell him to do it, so he didn't do it. So let's go ahead and do that ourselves. And just quickly zoom around the field, getting this all mowed. Now, as you can see, because I'm actually sticking over the edge a little bit more than the swather was, there might be some extra grass in here as we go through it, but not a big deal. Nothing our tedder can't handle. And this should give a good amount of hay for making TMR for the cows. And I think that'll be the last time we actually have to make hay in this playthrough, just because we're pretty much done. So see right there at the end, got a little bit of grass. We're going to have to ted or something with it to make sure that it doesn't mess up our balers. Now we could pick this up with a baler. I actually might just save that course and let the one of our 2 loading wagons just pick up all this hay. That's probably actually the easiest thing, because then I think Horseplay can do it. I don't have to do it myself. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to finish mowing this off. I'll have to get back over to the parsnips and make sure that is completed successfully. And then sometime later today, we'll have to go over to the red beets and choose the red beets, which is, I'm not looking forward to that at all. And I think our flax swather is almost done. As soon as we're done with this, let's go over and check. I think he's done, because then we can set off the second course, which is the more important one, which is the harvester. Now the harvester on the flax course will need unloading, so we'll have 2 things that we'll need to constantly keep unloading, which is, you know, super fun, especially at 200 horsepower and no Unreal equipment. It means that we're going to have to constantly unloading. That's part of the fun here, and part of getting this harvest done properly. It's just barely not wide enough. Oh well. Look at all this. These are huge windrows too, which is cool. Cool to see. Huge windrows, lots of hay, and that's actually one of the benefits of the prairie grass. It's not really published, but it kind of is. It's in the description, I guess. The prairie grass actually outputs more hay than normal. I mean, look at how tall it is. So I actually coated it to make sure that it outputs a good amount of extra hay that you normally wouldn't get. And that's the biggest benefit of this crop. Let's do a little bit more right here. Grab this. Yoink. So we missed a few bits in the corners. And that's good enough for me. So we're going to go ahead and park this swather off on this dead field that we're not going to replant. It's like, it hurts me not to replant it, but I'm not going to replant it. I don't have time. And then we're going to start picking this up. So this guy, we don't actually need very much of, honestly. This is the one who's going to do the tedding. I just need a little bit over on that field that I just did now. And I think, yeah, just 2 bits in the corners. It's funny, I actually didn't have a tedder up until now. I had to buy this for just this. This tedder has like 0 hours on it. And come over here. I think there's another little corner the other side too. And this tedder is actually one of my favorite tedders in the game because it both windrows just a little bit and teds. So when you ted normally with a regular tedder, it kind of spreads out a windrow. So if you hit a windrow with a tedder, it spreads it out. But this one doesn't, which makes it extra awesome. And so now we can set up maybe this tractor doing a course to pick up all that grass, put it over here in our forage depot. Let's go here and save it. So to save a course, if you guys didn't know, this is how you do it. What are we calling this? The cow farm? I think this is called the cow field. Let's call this the cow prairie. And then we're coming here and save course. Cow swather. And that way I can load the course here. Right? Come in here, load course. And then once I get the loading wagon, this guy can do all the loading. And actually, you know what? I might not use this guy because he's got the big duals on, and that causes problems. So let's actually clear that off. Clear. All right, let's jump in and get that. I'll get that swather guy going, and we'll be right back. And there we go. We've got this guy kicked off. He's gonna come over here to this field, pick up the hay, drop it off in the forage depot right over there, loop around just a little bit, and make sure that he gets all this hay picked up. Now we need to jump over to, I think, at a minimum, we need to jump over to this guy who's obviously in the swather here, still going. So then rest of my day is going to be watching over this harvester as the worker, as he harvests his field and making sure he stays empty, which is boring and not fun. So once the flax swather is done, maybe I'll jump in over there and show you the pickup process and pick up course and all kind of stuff. And we'll come back with that point. So hang in there, folks. And there we go. We're done with the flax swathing, which looks pretty awesome, honestly. Swathing, of course, is coming at 25, and we're hoping that it's going to work pretty much the same way as it works now. And I'm actually looking forward to it. I think more crops need to be swathable. More crops need to have this extra mechanic. I know it takes extra time, but one thing that's nice is that when you're early game or low horsepower, like in this challenge, a swather has a much bigger head, and it can work. You can work for longer without having to unload and do all that kind of extra steps, which is really handy, especially in early game. And one of the reasons I like it a lot, because like this pickup header only has, you know, a 6-foot pickup or whatever, small pickup. I don't remember what the number is. But let's go ahead and this is the Grumpy Gray Hillside. So let's go into our course play menu. Grumpy. Do we not save any courses for Grumpy? Oh, okay. Create new folder. That's not how you pronounce his name. I will edit it later. Save course. Activate. Grumpy Swather. Okay. And then clear. Turn it off. And then we're going to head up to our harvester. Go to our harvester. Come in here. We're going to here. Load course. Activate. Now the swather has a course, and as you can see, it's starting on the same spot. And then the swather, let's get this raised up, will, if everything works right. I haven't actually tested this, so I hope it works. I hope I set it up right. So we're gonna come in here. Yeah, pick up. And drop swat. Yeah, and there it goes. It's dropping flax straw. So get this guy going off. So what you're see is basically he's picking up the flax and the straw. In the hopper, we're outputting the flax seeds, and behind we're outputting flax straw. Now the flax straw is not normal straw, so we're gonna have to figure out what to do with it. We'll either probably just bale it up as flax bales and sell the bales directly, which we don't really do very often, but we have $17 million, who cares? So I'm gonna let this guy run, and hopefully he's not gonna fill up as fast. Looks like he's not filling up very fast as the parsnip harvester, who's about a third of the way done with his field. But I'm just constantly emptying that guy out over and over and over and over. So I'm gonna keep going on this. I got a bunch of this stuff to do, and once we start getting further into maybe our first unload over here with a flax harvester, and bring you back in. Fun. Jumping over to the flax field for a minute. I just emptied out the harvester. I'm not really sure what to do with the flax. I mean, I wanted to I wanted to harvest it, just because it's, you know, something different. No one else has ever harvested flax on CalmLands, but what am I gonna do with it? Like, I like to do stuff with my products, but I don't just like to sell them. Let's look. Let's look at the time-saving stock check and see what we should do. It doesn't even show up here. Like, it doesn't even know that I have it. Can I sell it? Can I do anything with it? Oh, there it is. Found it. Sell everything container. Okay, so I can sell it. There's nothing for me to do with it. I don't have enough energy to like make a production for it or anything. So I think I'm just gonna drive across the map and sell it at the sell everything container and call it a day. These are the final harvests. This is the end of this series, sort of, to be, well, once we get all the harvests done. But yeah, let's just go ahead and sell it. I don't even know how much I'm going to make from selling it. Let's jump over to the sell everything container. Finally made it over to the sell everything container over here that obviously can sell everything even if it's not on the map, such as Flax. And it's funny, in the time it took me to drive over here, I had to like switch back to the parsnip guy to unload him twice. Because, you know, that whole process is going on. And let's get the second one going too. I'll back up with the first one. And then I had to fix an auto drive course. I had to get one of the other workers going. I had to like, and then of course the Flax guy is already full, even though I just emptied him out. It's just insane. Like all of this is $54,000. That's a lot of money. So Flax is a good seller. That's good. That's good. So our full harvest is going to be 54 plus whatever this is. 54 plus 45. It's almost 100K. Wow. No, more than 100K with the environmental bonus. But just Flax, I think. I don't know if those are all the same thing because a bunch of things all kind of ticked over at the same time. But yeah, we're doing good. As you can see, a lot of our fields are, you know, as the fields from last time, we're not bothering to replant them. We're gonna finish the harvest and then move on. One of the things I'm really excited about is, as this video has gone on, I don't know if I talked about this early in the video because I've been recording this for like a month now. As this video has gone on, one of the big highlights for this series, one of the things I wanted to do for this series, one of the goals of this series was to be able to do a 200 horsepower harvest of crops that you don't normally harvest for 200 horsepower, right? So one of them is obviously poplar, and we planted the poplar field first. That's the kind of one we're waiting on because it takes a long time. The other one is cotton. Now, cotton is not something you can normally harvest. It's just not possible to harvest it with 200 horsepower because those cotton harvesters, the big ones, they're super expensive, number one. Not that we have to worry about money. But they're also like, you know, 300-400 horsepower or more. So there's no way to harvest cotton with 200 horsepower. So one of the things that I did when I started this series is I started working on the Bio Baler Pro. This is the series that started it. So if you're seeing this on ModHub now, you're welcome. Because this is the series that spawned it. I was like, I'm going to do poplar bales. No one does poplar bales, and part of the reason no one does poplar bales is because they're so small. It's only 2,000 liters. It fills up every 5 seconds. You know, it's pretty annoying. And also you have this, like, the Bio Baler has this, like 1.5 meter pickup. It's really small pickup. So you end up, I mean, you can obviously bale a field of poplar bales, but you end up with 1 million bales, and it takes you forever and ever and ever. And you have to kind of go outside. You have to like, do infinite headlands. Like going back and forth and doing rows just doesn't work. Because of the way the pickup works and because of the way the machine works on this. And so I set out at the beginning to make a better version just for myself of the Bio Baler that had bigger bale sizes. So I wanted to be able to have 150 and 180 bale sizes. I thought that would be a great idea. And so I added 150 and 180 bale sizes. And then when I was adding the crops to this map, that was back when I planted the poplar field. Now I was adding new crops to this map and then getting ready for this final harvest. I was like, what other crops haven't I done yet that I want to do? Can I cut this guy off so he doesn't move? Just empty out. Don't run away. I'm talking here. Gosh, you're interrupting. Anyways. And I wanted to do, what could I do? And I was like, I can't do cotton because I don't have a baler for cotton. There's no such thing. Balers just don't exist for cotton. And I was like, well, that baler I just edited for the Bio Baler, that could do cotton, maybe, if I make cotton bales, because cotton bales don't exist at that size. Like, they just don't exist. You don't have 125, 150, and 180 cotton bales. The game just doesn't support them by default. And I started to look into it. I was like, oh, you know what? I can actually update the bio baler to be able to do cotton. And so I did. And that became, look at the poplar fields coming along really well. It's kind of annoying to tab through vehicles because there's so many of them right now. So let's go to this one. Oh, I'm totally blocking the harvester with my full load of parsnips. We'll go over here and deliver these while we're talking. And so that's how the BioBaler Pro came out. And then I'm building the BioBaler Pro, and initially I just made the pickup wider, you know, because I was editing the mod. Why not just make it wider? And then I was working on the VPW mod, which a lot of other stuff on here has. I'm like, what if I combined the two? What if I added the BioBaler Pro, but also gave it VPW, and then released it at the same time I release the variable pickup width mod? And that's how what became the release that you guys have seen, hopefully in the last couple weeks, depending on when I get this video out. But, you know, recently, my last two mods for ModHub are going to be the VPW, the variable pickup width, and the BioBaler Pro. You're welcome. And in honesty, a lot of that came from this series, from this playthrough, from all of the stuff we're doing here. I've shown you the variable pickup width multiple times. As soon as the cotton and poplar fields are ready, we'll get to show off the BioBaler Pro. And we'll use the ModHub version. I think on here right now I have an early version of it. But it'll be kind of like the culmination of not just this series, but of modding for me as a modder in FarmSim. So that's going to be the last mod I released for FS22, with 25 only, you know, less than a month away, or a month away. I don't even know at this point. That's going to be it. So I hope everyone enjoys those mods, and if you do like them, don't forget to rate and share the mods with your friends. Let's see if I can empty this thing. And, you know, don't forget to like this video too. Oh no, this thing is full. I knew that was going to happen. Knew it was going to happen. We look at this factory, parsnips are full. It's a weird quantity, 550, 450, but that's okay. We have a silo right here that takes like 2 million liters, so we'll just dump them in here. But anyways, I'm gonna dump this out. I'm gonna get back over to emptying out the harvesters, and because it's gonna be a tireless job. And I'll jump back in when there's something to report. More karting. Today is Karting Simulator 2000. And there we go. There's actually a full sale of flax. I put another sale of everything down here at this area. It's kind of the south sell everything now. And the flax is actually almost done. We're actually almost done harvesting the flax field, which means we get to start baling it. And of course, the same thing with the bales. The bales, we don't have anything to do with the flax bales. We're just going to sell them. I don't remember whether I added them to the map itself to sell them, so we may just sell them to sell everything. That's fine. That's not a problem. We're actually, if you look at the map real quick, we're almost done with this parsnip field. And then I realized that this massive, huge field here for the red beets or something, I forget. Red beets, yes, yay! I got to do all of this. The same like 3 meter, constantly watching the harvester. That's gonna take a while. That's gonna take a while. But I'm gonna go over and empty out the harvester. Take the harvester back to the barn and get the baler ready, and we'll probably do some baling. I'm probably set the baler on courseplay with the VPW custom VPW baler and just let it follow the courseplay. Oh wait, I thought I was almost done. It has still have half the field. Never mind. We'll start baling later because I don't want to have bales in the like the outer regions. I think I'm just gonna have to spend all my time watching over this guy. Let's get some. Unload him a little bit more. Speed sync. Thank you very much, GTX, for your speed sync mod. Oh my gosh, we're not gonna have speed sync in FS25 for a while. Speed sync and Easy Dev are probably my 2 favorite GTX mods that I'm going to definitely miss a lot when we get to FS25. Speed sync and Easy Dev. 100%. Those are my 2. Especially playing single player and doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? I'm going to miss courseplay too, but at least we have some relative level of GPS in the Mulligan. Okay, so that guy's empty. Leave him there, and I'll be back. I gotta go empty out the parsnip harvester yet again. And I think this is it. I think we're finished with the flax harvest. This has been a huge field. I've done 2, I think, 2, maybe 3 full cells. I'd have to double check, but I think it was 2. We'd have to check the video footage. But almost 3 because it's almost full. So we've made like 250K or so from this one harvest so far, and that's just the key here, so far, because we can still sell the flax, right? We can still sell. I hope we can sell. Let me check. I think I made it. Flax straw in either of our sell everything containers. We can sell the flax straw, and obviously it doesn't sell as high as the flax itself, but the number of bales we're going to get off this field are going to be pretty substantial. So I'm guessing another 100K from just flax as we go through and bale all of this straw, and pick it all up, and just sell it off. Which makes this overall field that we've made so far like a 300K or so profit. Which, you know, for how big is this? Which field do I want? I want this one. For a 19 hectare field, that's a pretty good profit for one harvest. And to think of, even if we think about it, if we kept this field and then continued to harvest it or put flax in it again, we'd make a killing. But you know, we still have a few more harvests to do. The ones that are purple are done. Everything else that's green still needs to be done. This one has wheat in it again. This one has beets in it again. I think this one has green in it again. Another corn harvest, the poplar harvest, which we haven't done yet. This one, which I think is going to be close. This one, which is very close. This one's going to be a pain in the ass, which is lavender, which is going to be interesting. This one we still have to do today. And then this one, which is going to take forever. So we still have plenty of harvesting to do. Plenty of stuff to do before we can just see this whole map as purple. I want to see it all as purple, all harvested, all done. And then I think I'll call CalmLands complete. But for now, we finished the flax harvest. Let's cancel that. Cancel that, worker. Good job, worker. And head over here. Hide this under there because it doesn't need to be floating down by the ground. And then we will dump and sell. Let's go see how much we make. And we'll start bailing, I think. Yeah, we'll start bailing. It's not going to be much in here. Oop, wrong button. Let's go sell this. We on the southern sell point, which is a little bit closer. I wanted to add that other sell point just because I'm tired of driving across the entire map. Considering I own and have put it crops in the entire map. And I'm sorry for driving across the crops, but I really don't care. And this one I'm actually interested about. I don't know what mustard's going to be like to harvest. I don't know if it creates straw. I don't know if it doesn't. I don't know if it's a good price. I just don't know. We should check. That would be good. Can we check real quick before we run into a tree? Yeah, mustard. Yeah, 363. Not as good of a price as flax, but a fair price, and that's not very big field, so that'll be a quick harvest alongside all of the other harvests. And I think if I do this, we can start selling. Let's get onto the window where we can see it. Sell that one. And sell that one. Sell the second one. Get them both tipping. As soon as the first one's done, we'll go to the last one. And I think there's a little bit in the last one. Wasn't fast enough. There you go. Another $70,000 or $75,000. Yeah, $75,000 for the flax harvest, which is phenomenal. The only other harvest I'm going to need to do is going to be the beets. So I'm going to leave the fast track down here so we can have multiple vehicles collecting for that beet harvester, and just keep it unloaded so we can get through this huge red beet field, which is not going to be fun. But anyways, I'm going to jump over. I think we're actually let's check. If we jump over real quick, I think we might be able to finish in one little clip. Yep. And then the parsnips right here are almost done. And so once we finish our parsnips, I think I have to start cycle around. Yeah, I didn't get close enough. Once we finish the parsnips, we're going to go down to the red beets. So all that's left to do in this episode so far, I guess, is the rest of the red beet field, which is going to take the rest of the day, guaranteed. I don't know if I'm going to put you through all that pain, but I'll show you some of it. And baling up the flax straw, which is not even a manual process. It just means that I have to unload that bale trailer every once in a while, because we'll get follow me following courseplay, just AI following AI, which is kind of funny. Follow me following courseplay, and then I'll just empty out, sell those bales whenever I can, and then we'll see how much we actually make in total for that flax wheel. All right, let's finish up this parsnips and get on to the red beets. Yay! And there we go. I finished it off because the worker decided he didn't want to work. The base game workers don't really like the curvy fields, which is fine. Whatever, I don't care. But I don't mind the curvy fields myself. Get it done. All right, we're done with parsnips. Now I've drive this harvester all the way across the map, which is going to take a while because it only goes like 25, and get over to the red beet field. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this parsnips, get this harvester across the map, and I'll see you over at the red beet field. Okay, go. We're over here at our flex field, and the next big thing we have to do, and this is just, let's figure this out. No. Start the engine. That. And go. We need to bale this flax. So let's make sure the flax bales are working. And let's hire a worker. And then we should be followed too. Are you following? If you're not following, you're supposed to be following, dude. Anyways, we're going to be baling up this field of flax bales, which look like the bales are coming out perfect. And we're actually going to let the workers do it because we have to focus on the red beets. And so you can see the workers are going, and hopefully I can get the follow me. This seems to be glitching here. Look, there's no follow distance. I don't know what's going on. Follow me seems to be acting weird. Maybe I'll just restart and see if that helps. But we're going to have to pick up this whole field of flax bales. I'd like it to be as automated as possible. At a minimum, we really just need to get the headlands, because then the rest of the field can just be, you can let the worker go and pick up the rest of the field. As you see, we can pick up the bales automatically with our bale loading trailer, which is great. But really, we just need the headlands to get done so that we can let him go do his up and downs and not get stuck on anything. So maybe I'll follow him around the field for a minute or two. 5 minutes maybe to do all the headlands. Or let him just do the headlands and I'll come back and just zoom around the field and pick them up. That's what I might do. He's got 3 headlands to go. Okay, let's do that. Let's jump over to the other guy who has to do some work. This one. Now, this is going to be painful. There's no other way of putting it. This is going to be painful. So, to get this field done, we're going to have to use a regular worker. And to use regular workers appropriately, especially in the way that I've built the fields here, and again, it's my fault, sort of, we kind of have to give them some room to turn around. This thing takes a little bit of room to turn around, so we're going to have to do headlands ourselves. So I'm going to stop talking, leave it recording, and zoom around a few headlands, probably having to empty this thing out a couple times, because we're almost like halfway full already. We haven't even done a tenth. And get a couple rows of headlands done so that we can set off a regular worker and it won't crash into stuff or whatever. So I'm going to do that and we'll jump back in. Hope you enjoyed the little time lapse. Here you go. 3, 2, 1. would you look at that? We got one headland done, just a little bit over. And we've already filled up our load of red beets. And can I sneak in right here? Maybe. Oh, I love the articulated tractor. It can sneak through the trees easy. Anyways, we've got one headland. And we're already full. And we're already dumping off at the... That's how I would round on. These are left dump. So let's come up here and loop-de-doo. We already have a full tractor. As you can see, like, I wasn't getting very far before needing to dump again. Every time. So, dump this one. And this one. Those two dumping at the same time. Save some time. And as you can see, getting that field done is going to take forever and a day. I'm not going to put you through all that pain. I already put you through that pain for the parsnip field. So I'm just going to have to sit down, take some time, grind through it. Let's double check right now while we're here how this guy is doing on his headlands. Enter vehicle. And it looks like he's already having problems with the bales. He is pushing the bale around like he's a dump truck or a dump truck. He's already having problems, so we're gonna have to pick up all these bales and to give him some free reign to run around the field. If I remember where my bale trailer is, it's here. So we're just gonna zoop run around the field. Get these two here because it's right next to them. We're gonna have to zoom around the field, hopefully get the all the headlands now, and pick up all these bales so he can actually just get through and doing the up and downs. Once he starts doing the up and downs, you know, he'll be able to cruise as long as he can turn around. He'll be fine. He won't run into his own bales, but because the headlands are in the way, he might have some problems. So I'm gonna go cruise around, pick up all these bales. We're just gonna be selling these bales off. There's no real actual purpose for these bales. They are different bales, so I can't use them in any of my food productions without editing them. I could, of course, edit them if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to. We're just gonna sell them off, which is not something I normally do. Let's see, the flax bales are selling for like 60, I think. Isn't that what it was when we looked a few minutes ago? Flax straw, 57. Not too bad. And those are selling down to sell everything together, which is still pretty close. So that shouldn't be a problem. So we'll go ahead and pick up all these bales, get to that red beet harvest, and maybe jump back in a little bit later today, just because you don't need to see all this. It's going to take a long time, and that red bean field is going to take forever and a day. It's also weirdly shaped, so we're going to have to do multiple, like, restarting the worker, because the workers just don't like turning around when there's not, like, you know, a straight field. They have issues. They forget. They're like, oh no, I'm done. They're not actually done, so poop on them. Anyways, we'll drop in a little bit, bring guys back in, show you what's going on in a little while. Catch you in a few minutes. Jumping back in real quick, we're over at our flax field. And it looks like our courseplay course is done. It appears to have missed just a little bit. Let's turn that course off real quick. Hide that. It appears to have missed just a little bit. Like this one strip here and there's one strip up there. I don't really understand why it missed so much. To me, that's kind of weird. But whatever. It was a pretty complex course and a very complex field. So we're just going to go ahead and bail up this last thing ourselves. But the flax field is done. We're, again, with all the rest of our fields, we're not doing anything in this field. We're not going to be replanting it or anything. We just want to leave the harvested state and move on. And move on to bigger and better things. namely FS25, which is coming out shortly. But we wanted to finish this series up for everyone who's been following along. So I'm not planning on replanting or keeping this field going. It's been pretty fun, actually. Getting the entire map into fields and taking this, what was a wilderness map, and, you know, making it just huge and amazing. I love it. Personally, I love wilderness style maps where you can just make it your own. And it's been really fun to see how all the other people, including all the people on this list, if you see I've named every field for all the people who've been doing this challenge. I believe Farmer Murphy is still doing it. He's probably the only one who's still on it with me. See how everyone did it. Everyone attacked it a little bit differently. I think I'm one of the few people who actually got the whole map done. But a lot of people just did their 20 episodes and gave up. I don't even think this is the 20th episode, so we'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and finish collecting all the rest of the flax. If we look over, you can kind of see it, but we can look at it in this view right here. The mean robots suck wetlands, which has red beets is third done. It's not really that much done. It's going to take a while to do it because there's a lot to get done. And I actually bought a second harvester, a second root crop harvester, because I have 2 trucks, so I figured why not as well have 2 harvesters at the same time. Trying to get all of that field done. We did even contact the production company and got them to hire some more workers because it was running super slow and we don't want that. So I'm going to finish that up and finish cleaning this field up, get back to doing some red beets, and check in with you a little bit later. Nice. Finally jumping back in on this red beet field. Oh, I ran in front of him. It's a delicate balance to make sure I'm far enough away that I'm not blocking him. Close enough that I can unload on the go. There. Maybe? Almost. Come on, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I know I can. And go. Alright, so we're going to unload on the go. As you can see, we're down to the last row. We finally got this whole field done, and it's been a chore. As you can see, it's 5 o'clock in game. It's really late in the day. And we have just a little bit. Where is it? I don't even know. Where's the silo thing? This right here. Red beets, which are down here somewhere. Come on. Where are they? They are added in at the end because of things. Yes, we have 500,000 liters of red beets in storage, plus 500,000. I'm keeping this one full, 450,000 over here. And so, yeah, we have just a few red beets, and this truck is full, that truck is full. That one needs to be emptied, this one needs to be emptied, but this is going to be it for the red beet field. And which is going to leave us with, you know, just about 600,000 liters of red beets that can be processed. Now, we are actually processing both triple soup, right? Which is carrots, parsnips, and red beets, which was the goal. We wanted to make that. We're also making parsnip soup because we got plenty of parsnips in storage. We have to refill this soon. And we're making the red beet soup because we have so many of them. Because this field was gigantic. And we actually got so I have my spawn pellets stacked mod installed on here. And I did a little bit of pushing with the JCB earlier to push the pallets into this storage building. So I added this storage building. This is the same storage building that's over there. And these pallets these are the soups. So I'm not sure what this is the triple one. And so the pallets are being created. They're getting stacked up. And when they get full, I'm pushing them over here in the storage building. This storage building currently has... If I come over here and look at this, where's the info? should be an info here somewhere. Tells me how much. Here it is. Total capacity. We have 19 pallets of red beet soup, 17 pallets of triple soup, and 21 pallets of parsnip soup so far. Just sitting in storage. We'll sell all of that later on when the price is good. But for now, we're going to come in here. We're going to fill this production up just a little bit with our trailer. Doesn't take much. And then we're going to empty over into our silo. But that's actually going to be it for today. We've gotten so much done today. We got this red beet field. We'll look at the map real quick. Get this red beet field done. We got this parsnip field done. We got this field done. We got this meadow. Oh my gosh, I still have the course sitting there. We got this meadow done. And I think next time we're going to be doing some lavender. And if we look at the growth patterns, I think the lavender is going to be ready. And based on the colors, I think these, we might be doing beets next time. We might be doing wheat. We might be doing corn. I don't think we're going to be doing poplar, but we might. And we're also going to be doing carrots. We got a lot to do next time and a lot to do this time. But as you can see, they're currently having a fight of who's better. Who's going to win that battle? Who knows? Worker on worker. We'll see who wins. But that's going to be it for me today. I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along. I'm sorry for the delay on getting this video out. It's been quite a while since I've released a video in this series, but I do want to finish this up for FS25, and today's my goal. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment down below. What do you think I should do with this save? Do you guys want this save? Let me know in the comments below if you actually want me to upload this save so that you guys can check it out and play with all these fields. Obviously, there's a bunch of required mods, and I can probably remove all the equipment at the end of the save, so you just have the fields. Do you want it? Let me know down below. As always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.